In Walking Moons, there are three stories going on at different times. The story starts with Sal moving out of Bybanks with her Gram and Gramps to Idaho to find her mother. Sal talks about how her mother has left Louisa in Idaho and how she hates Mrs. Cadaver, also meant to be dead body, on their road trip with her grandparents. Sal starts talking about her friend Phoebe Winterbottom and of how she found strange messages and her mother disappearing. Let's talk about Phoebe's story first. Phoebe Winterbottom is a shy, quiet girl with enormous eyes and a round face. One day, Phoebe suddenly starts talking to Sal and they become really good friends. Later, Phoebe invites Sal over to her house to have dinner, and Sal meets her mother. Phoebe's family were really mother and polite, but her mother seemed really strange. Later, Sal starts to fall in love with Ben. As Sal starts to be good friends with Ben and Phoebe, there was a boy, also a lunatic, that comes to Phoebe's house to find Mrs. Winterbottom. At the same time, someone keeps leaving strange messages on her porch. One time, Phoebe's mother suddenly disappeared and left prepared meals for the family. Their whole family were really sad and Phoebe started to get grumpy and get grumpy. When they went to the police office, Sal found out that the lunatic was actually Mike. After Sal and Phoebe went to find Mike in the university, when they saw Mike, they also saw Phoebe's mother kissing him. In the end, they figured out that Mike was actually Mrs. Winterbottom's other son. So that's pretty much the end of Phoebe's story. In Sal's story, she goes from Bybanks, Louisa, Idaho. On the way, Sal, Gramps, and Gram stops at Michigan Lake. When they were there, Gram got bitten by a snake and they went to a hospital. Afterwards, they went to Coral. Gram suddenly got stroke and went away. Of course, Gram was really sad. He couldn't believe his eyes. But he told Sal to drive the car herself to Louisa, so she drove and saw the bus, and discovered the truth. She saw the bus that fell off the hill years ago. With that, she finally realized that her mother was really dead. 3 or more years ago, Mrs. Cadaver and Sal's mom were riding the bus down the hill. Unfortunately, it slipped and fell. Most people didn't survive, except Mrs. Cadaver. Her father and Mrs. Cadaver are really good friends afterwards. So that's how Sal got to Ohio and know Phoebe. I think Walking Moons is a really good book for all ages to read.